Hey guys, and welcome to the Tactical Tauntaun, coming to you almost live from our hidden railway base at Docking Bay 94. I'm Patrick.
I'm Will.
Welcome, guys. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate your support. Today's topic is going to be on building a X-Wing Star Wars games community hobby, community of hobby. In any hobby that we're doing, we feel like the community is one of the most important parts because this is how we're going to get our players and our places to play.
Yeah, exactly. And we're going to talk about some experience maybe that we've even had, and what maybe you can do to help your community grow.
Yep.
So why don't you go ahead and start it off?
Sure. So we talked about this at length many times. As far as the 336 Tauntaun Squadron and how we're going to build our group, and we all agreed that it comes down to making new players feel welcome. I think that many times, and you guys have all experienced this, a player walks in with his corset in his hand and maybe a Millennium Falcon, and he throws onto the table the best thing he can build. And the worst thing that can happen is just somebody sit down with like RAL boats and just table this guy goes. That's how X-Wing's played. And all of a sudden you're looking at a guy walking out the door who's not ready to come back. And literally I kind of experienced that the first time that I began playing. I sat down with exactly that and I just got myself handed to me. And I really didn't want to come back and play again, but our good friend Dan LaRocca said, no man, come on back, and took the time to throw some basic ships on the table and really sit there and teach me about the game, and then talk to me about how do I build my own squadron and what I wanted to play. It's basically, what is it you want to play? And I said, well, Imperials, and so he gave me some things to go out and buy, and I probably spent $100 on some more stuff. But I came back the next week and I won 3 games in a row, and I was like, wow, this is great. I'm hooked. And honestly, had Dan not taken the time to dumb down a list of his and really show me and teach me the game, and I would have come back and continued playing, and I was like, wow, that's huge.
Yeah, I think Dan was one of the first players that I played as well, and I played him at House of Cards. And when I went in, I think there were 4 players, so it was really small that night. Everybody was very friendly, very opening. If I had walked into that place and I've seen it in other games being played where
Sure.
you have a new player, hey, can somebody teach me how to play? Or can somebody, just play with me, but kind of like teach me as we go. Show me my mistakes, but don't hold it against me.
Right.
I have seen many times where people just aren't interested in teaching new players, and so now you have somebody who, like you said, isn't interested, doesn't want to come back. I think it was Dan and Brian Schwimmer.
Right.
Hope I'm saying your name right. But both of them were very much like, no, come on, let's play. And, oh, no, you can't do that. They did show me, oh, no, that's wrong.
Sure.
But they were all very patient with me. And
Absolutely.
I didn't win anything. But I felt like I was welcome. I felt like it wasn't a situation like you ran into where it was just, I'm going to throw down this list and just be done with you in 30 minutes so I can move on.
And I want to say, I don't think, and it wasn't a purposeful thing, they literally tried to dumb down their list a little bit, but weren't really sure what to do. And I think they were able to take from that an important lesson. Even Steve Savage, who runs the game over at Geeksboro, even said, I learned a valuable lesson from that of how to help players out.
Right.
So. It wasn't like I was dealing with those, those what we call alpha gamers.
Yep.
I mean, those guys are out there, and that's what they like. I get that, and I'm okay with that too. But everybody don't want to play with an alpha gamer, and alpha gamers aren't necessarily the best people to have the patience teaching. They get real serious, and I don't really see it so much in X-Wing and Imperial Assault and things like that. It's more out in some of the other board gaming community when you really get deep into that hobby. You're seeing more of those type players. I mean, I go to the World Board Gaming Championships every year, and there are alpha gamers there. And me and a friend of mine, Edward, who is the host of Heavy Cardboard, we ended up on the same table of Terraforming Mars together, and we had an alpha gamer. and we both gave each other a look of, man, I'm gonna choke this guy if he gets all alpha on us anymore. But yeah, that's what it is. But we as a community have to have those ambassadors of the game that are going to bring a new player in, help them, teach them, and it's not about, hey, let me show you how it's done. It's more of, I can help you out. Would you like some help? Ask those guys first.
And we've got some great guys in the 336 Tauntauns.
Terry
Terry Floyd really tried to pull this community together.
I think he really helped build this thing.
Yeah, and then Brian Schwarmer is he loves to teach.
He does.
He is a teacher, but I remember a few weeks ago, the new players showed up, and he was like, okay, what have you got? They didn't have very much with them, so he was like, here, I'll tell you what, you guys play each other, I'll walk you guys through it, we'll talk about what you're doing, but I'm going to build you a list to play. It was a father and a son. Said, I'm going to build a list with my own ships.
Yep.
You play that list, you play that, and we'll just work on it and stuff like that. I've seen them back now a couple times. So just
they
by him,
they were there last week too.
yeah,
Nice guys.
By Brian sitting down with them and just kind of going through things with them, I think it really showed that, hey, we're not here just to beat up on you.
Right.
We're here to teach you because we want you to come back.
We have each other to beat up on.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's enough of us now that play. And like I said, when I went out there, the store that we were playing at, House of Cards in Winston-Salem, it had been closed for a while, so they had some ownership change, some other stuff going on. But the community has started to come back, and I think that on most Thursday nights, we have 10 to 12 players, maybe.
It's great. I'm excited about it, and I'm excited about continuing to build that. And that brings up, I think that brings up the next part of this is that you involve your store owners.
Yes.
Talk to them about making sure that they have the inventory in there to sell to these players, because, like I said, I went out the very next week and spent $100 in a store to upgrade all my stuff, and as we work together with the store owner, bringing more players in, bringing them in right, they're going to spend money in that store, and that store is going to continue to provide us a place to play, because a game store owner depends on people spending money in there, but they open up their doors and they say, come in and play, but I'm not going to pressure you to spend money, but please spend money.
You should. I mean,
Absolutely.
sometimes you feel like I've got to get this. The store owner can't get it for a few weeks. You have another location online. It happens. But if you're going into a store and you're playing there and they're providing you a place,
buy a drink and a candy bar at the very least.
Yeah,
I mean, that's part of it.
Let them know what you're looking for, because maybe they can't get it in in 3 days, but maybe I can get it in for you next week. It'll be here waiting for you.
And the thing about it too is, if you've got a big enough community of whatever game it is, whether it's X-Wing or Imperial Assault, or if it's something completely different, it could be Dungeons & Dragons or Magic the Gathering, whatever it is, the bigger you make the community, the easier it is for these guys to come up with discount clubs where, as you spend money, you get more discounts. I've seen that in many stores.
Yep.
As you hit different dollar amounts, you get a different percentage off up to a certain point, and then it resets at the beginning of the year. That's a great way for a store to help build that community. And these are conversations you can have with your locals, your local, friendly local game store owner. They're happy for that, because they want your business. They got to turn the lights on, and they got to have the air conditioning on, and they got to pay their employees, and they can only do that through selling stuff. So support them, guys. That's part of building that community.
Yeah, if you support the store will support you. That's
Absolutely.
what I have tended to see. We're very lucky, I think, with House of Cards that the owner William wants us in there.
He's amazing.
Wants us playing.
And he wants us to be able to, he told us the other day, he really wants to put up a 336 Tauntaun Squadron headquarters or hangar bay or whatever we want to call it, just a banner up there saying, this is where we're at, this is us. That's cool.
Yeah.
That helps build our community and helps build his community. It's exciting, it's fun, and it's great to be able to see these people and reach out to them and continue to build and build and build and build. the cool thing about it is if you build it big enough and he's making enough money, they're able to open them and get a bigger space. I mean, you look over at like a store like Atomic Empire. They started in a very small place,
Yeah.
and now they have like a store the size of Walmart or half of Walmart anyway.
Yeah, it's huge.
That place is huge, but they didn't do it overnight. They did it by building a community, and that community is built by the players and the store owner working together.
So in that, like we were saying, if you get a new player in, and they might not have everything, offer them to play maybe, like, find out what they're interested in. If you have the ships, let them play those ships, and you play maybe their list or something that they can put together. Let them try different things. There's nothing wrong with letting somebody use your stuff. Make sure they also understand that if it's just an open gaming night, and you might not have the upgrade cards, just print off a list. There's plenty of places online,
Because we don't care about that. It's not a tournament. We're out there having fun, and we're testing stuff.
Yeah, and it allows them to try stuff out because maybe, auto thrusters, but I'm never going to fly a Star Viper. Well, try it out and then decide. Auto thrusters really doesn't work for me. I don't like it. It's not, not worth it.
If you want to fly, Vader at his best, I mean, you have to go out and buy the
Raider.
The Raider. I mean, maybe you don't have $100 to put into a Raider, so print the cards off. It's okay. I mean, if you find the investment's worth it, go get it. And I will say this, guys: buying upgrade cards online, in my opinion, is a waste of money because they're gonna. Like an auto thruster is going to cost you $8 or $9. Why not just spend $15 and get the daggone, 20 and get the ship? You get 2 auto thrusters with it. So if you bought 2 auto thrusters, it's going to cost you as much as the daggone ship anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a Emperor Palpatine card is like $50. The Raider's $89. Why not spend the other $39 and get everything you need? The aftermarket on these cards is not. There's no value in it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah.
Anyway, that doesn't really have anything to do with community, but I guess it can help you with how to
go about building
your list and teaching these people how to build a list.
But the big thing is, just print off. Make sure in most communities I've seen, if it's an open night, just print off a list. Even if you don't own the cards, no big deal. Once it starts coming to your standard tournaments, people want to see the actual cards and stuff like that.
Of course.
And sometimes they don't. Sometimes they really don't care. I was at a tournament. I had all dark cards. I did have the actual cards as well. Nobody asked me about them. Nobody cared. They were like, whatever, you're playing.
They actually go, wow, I like that auto card. Where'd you get it?
Yeah.
Oh, the guy from Sling Paint gave it to me. These guys are cool.
So, but it's a good way to learn and to try different things without having to spend the money first, because maybe you find that, I don't really like this. In that, if you have a location that you play, we have a Facebook page for the Triad area. X-Wing.
Direct your players to it.
Yeah, direct the new players to it. Say, hey, message. If you can't, like we always meet out there on Thursday nights. If you can't meet on Thursday, put out there who can meet on Tuesday and where can you meet.
There's always somebody that will probably say, hey man, I'm ready to play. Let's get
right.
it on.
And the more that you can get these people in and playing, the better, because nothing is worse than showing up one night and there's 2 other people there, and that's it the whole night. And then you're sitting around and you're going, okay, somebody's sitting watching, talking, which is fine. It's fun, but at the same time, you want to come out and you want to play and practice.
And you can always do it. You, me, and Hunter did that one time and do a 2-on-1 game.
2-on-1 game. Just change it up. Try different things.
Sure, it's
But for new players, you really want to get them in there, and you want to
make them feel welcome. Be an ambassador of your store and of your group. That's what you need to take away from this.
Yeah. Find out what they like and offer up suggestions to them. Not everybody's going to take them, and that's okay too.
I think the best question to ask a new player is, what faction or what ship are you interested in flying? And then help them build a list around that decision.
Yeah.
It's definitely a great way to start, and it starts with each of us making people feel welcome.
Yeah.
The worst thing you can do is to not go all the way. I think it takes nothing. It takes no time to go over and introduce yourself to somebody and make them feel welcome.
Yep.
I think that goes a long way.
It does.
And I think that every single person in that group ought to take the time and the opportunity to go over there and introduce themselves and welcome that person there,
Right.
because that is going to mean a whole lot. It costs nothing to be nice to somebody.
No. Well, that's just life in general.
Right.
I know that a few weeks ago we did have a gentleman come in and was talking about how he plays with his friends, and he doesn't feel like he was ready to come out to our store. And we have not seen him yet, but one of the big things that the person who was talking to him said was, come out, bring your list. There's plenty of people here that you can play that will, and I don't mean to say take it easy on you and kind of, but we'll play something non-competitive. We'll play something friendly, something that's not going to wipe you off the board right away. Most people that when we go play, we have our competitive list, and we have our, this is just for fun, we're going to try it out.
I always, I think I have a tournament build and a, for lack of a better word, jank build of
Right.
each faction, so I can throw anything onto the table, and I have everything ready to go. I don't have to search for everything. I have stands of cardboards already on them, ready to go. Just throw the ship on there, and I got the upgrade cards stuck down into the ship cards, and I can do 1 or 2 builds with every faction.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying everybody needs to go out and do that, but you should probably have at least one very light, non-competitive list on hand to help out. Be willing to be that ambassador. Don't make it be the same person over and over again. I know Brian Schwimmer has said, hey, I'll be that guy, but I don't want him to have to be that guy
Right.
every time.
A few weeks ago, I brought 3 bombers. They didn't work out very well, but they were fun to try. And that's a great thing, is that you can fly different things that maybe you wouldn't normally put on the table, because here's somebody who has the Falcon and an X-Wing, and okay, do I need to fly the RAL boats again? No, just fly something fun.
Well, and it also takes care of this whole thing. We keep saying, I keep saying the same thing everywhere I go. Well, you get, and that's not to say, take away from your personal trying to getting ready for a tournament or whatever.
Right.
I mean,
and there have been those times where, and I've played somebody who brought there, and they said, this is all I have. And I said, well, all I have is this, and I'm getting ready for a tournament. You might not want to play me, because I kind of know going in. And
then that's when you tap somebody like Brian on the shoulder and say, hey, this is a new guy, can you help him out here?
Yeah,
I didn't bring anything today for that.
And unfortunately, everybody was booked on the table already. They were already in the middle of the games. I played him, and he was like, I just want to play.
Sure.
And he had never flown against, I was flying 3 defenders. He had never flown against defenders. He found out what defenders do. And, and at the end of the game, I apologized again, said, sorry, I just didn't have anything else with me. And he was fine with it.
So, I think what happens there is you went out of your way to be overly friendly and welcoming, and that can go a long way as well.
And so if you have a new player, and let's say you're the only person there right then, and they want to play a game, and you only have your competitive list, just let them know, this is all I've got. I'm sorry, it's probably going to be a little overpowering, but
don't feel like I'm crushing your soul here.
Right. Just let them know this is probably going to hurt a little bit. But while you're
people
playing,
will be all right with it.
while you're playing, talk to them about what they're doing, what their decisions they're making, and you can even say, okay, well, normally if they've never played, and I'm going to use defenders, you have to understand. Let them know the defenders can 4K, and it's white. I'll still get actions. Let them know what your list can do, and let them know,
let them play your list. Take what
Oh,
they got, throw them together. I mean, give them something, because even if they're a new player, they're not going to be as that. So it's pretty. So maybe that even balances out a little more.
They can see how their list that they've built can play.
Yeah, what it can do.
Yeah.
What the potential behind it. So I think the thing we really want you guys to take away from this today is that we need to be ambassadors of the hobby that we are interested in, whether it's a Star Wars game or something else. Building that community is so important, because it allows us to continue to have a place to enjoy the hobbies that we love. We're going to do another video about building a community, and we want to talk about the extended community, reaching out to other gaming groups, other X-Wing groups, other Imperial Assault groups, and how we can involve everybody in our area. Because we have friends that are members of the Hornet Squadron and the Carolina Crates and the Sling Paint guys and the group up in Asheville. They are
Ashboro.
No, Asheville.
Oh, I
There's
don't know about
the
that
seven. So I know they've got a squadron up there. It's the whatever the area code is. They're
Okay.
I
I didn't know about that one.
I think a couple of those guys have come down in the past. But yeah, I mean, we want to talk about how we reach out to these guys and involve those guys with building this extended community. So
Yeah, and that's who actually got me into it. Is I went up there to Charlotte because I found out through a tournament through Sling Paint because I knew those guys from playing paintball when they played paintball. So I actually got to go and talk to them, and I said I can't find anybody, and they were like, oh, we'll send you. Join us on Facebook. We'll send you the groups and invite you to the groups down in the Triad area, and they did, and that's how I got involved.
And so they're already doing this thing where they're reaching out. They're
Yeah.
happy to. It's not a competition between the groups until we get onto the table, but building this community is important to a lot of those guys as well. And so we'll talk about that some as we do another discussion on community, because I just think it's that important.
I
for
think
this,
that I
for the
think
hobby.
the community discussion will probably be an ongoing series. It may
Sure.
hopefully it may never end because there's always going to be things that come up that we might see that we can say, hey, we saw this and this was great, or
This was something that, man, we can't allow that to happen again at our store or
at
wherever.
another store that we saw it happen at. So
Yep.
it's definitely going to be something that'll always be a topic, whether or not it's relevant in the moment, maybe not, but it's going to be ongoing. Yeah.
Well, guys, again, thanks for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Share this video. Follow us on Facebook. Like our posts, and man, put some things in the comments below. And
Yeah, let us know what you think. Give us some ideas. Hopefully, we'll have the poll up here in the next little bit.
'cause it's Trevor.
Travis.
Anyway,
But we'll let you guys decide. Hopefully, you'll see that here shortly, and we'll see you next time.
thanks for watching.
Thanks.